difficult was it mentally to prepare for this character? Did you meet him in person, and what was the preparation actually did you went through mentally for this character?
So this is an interesting anecdote that I've shared with media and friends all over, that so Mr. Najib was always accessible. He was there, and he's a good friend of Benjamin, the writers, and Mr. Blessy sir also knows him quite well. I could have met him, spoken to him at any point in time. But we made a conscious decision very beginning, Blessy sir and me, that I will not meet him. Because my endeavor as an actor, I believe, is to recreate the Najib in the script that Blessy sir has written. Not to meet the real Najib and try and create an imitation of the person. So my performance is largely and in fact solely based on what is written on the script. Plus whatever information I wanted in terms of what must that person have felt, what would he have gone through, what were the circumstances that led into each situation. All that is very detailed in the book. The book is quite detailed. It's a 43 chapter long book in Malayalam. And I also had access to Benjamin, the author, who had spent months with Najib before writing the book. So there really wasn't any information that wasn't available to me. So we thought it would be a very interesting exercise to do the film. And the first time I spoke to Mr. Najib is on the last day of shoot, after finishing the last shot of the film. After doing the last shot of the film, I went behind the camera, and for the first time I spoke to Najib at length. And a large bit of that conversation we have recorded, we have shot, and between Najib and me. And I think we'll release it sometime. Yeah.
Prithvi sir, Lokesh from News First.
Hello, hi.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಏನಂತಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ನಾವಲ್ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಥೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಈಗ 250 ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇರಳ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಈ ಕತೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಸಿನಿಮಾಟಿಕ್ ಲಿಬರ್ಟಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಈ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಆರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಮಾಡಿ ಗೆಲ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಧೈರ್ಯ ಇತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಭಯ ಕಾಡಲಿಲ್ವಾ ಈ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ತಗೊಳ್ಳುವಾಗ?
ನೋ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಷನ್, ಐ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್.
ಅವರು ಕನ್ನಡ ಗೊತ್ತು ಈಗ.
By the way, the book is also available in Kannada. It is also translated into Kannada. And I would actually encourage all of you to read it. Anyway, so yeah, this at the very beginning, Blessy sir and me knew that the biggest challenge we have in front of us is this hugely popular book that lakhs and lakhs of people have read. And also two things that we understood and realized at the very beginning itself is that one, we cannot recreate the book as such. Because literature has the liberty of micro detail, right? I mean, a moment in Najib's life could be 20 pages. It also has the liberty of doing the opposite. Like months of Najib's life could be just one paragraph. So writing on print has that liberty that usually cinema does not. At least it doesn't lend itself well to cinema. So we can't recreate the book as such. If we were to make a film on everything and all the information in the book, it would be like a 12 or 13 hour long film. So that we can't do. Secondly, one thing we always knew was we cannot question the reader's imagination. Like when you read the book, you would have imagined a Najib, you would have imagined a Masra, you would have imagined your version of the desert. We can't show you a film and tell you you were wrong. That we can't do, no? So you can't challenge the reader's imagination. So then what can we do? What we can do is we can probably attempt to create the emotional journey of the character. We can try and attempt a visual manifestation of the emotional arc of the character. So what you feel when you read the book is what we hope you will feel when you see the film. But it's a completely different experience when you're actually seeing it manifest visually in front of you. And one of the most moving moments for us as a team is when the real Najib saw the footage of the film and his eyes teared up and he kept saying, "Ella," or like, everything came rushing back to memory, everything came rushing back to memory. So I can imagine as traumatic as that must have been for him, for us, it was like a great affirmation that, you know, if not exact, we got pretty close to what the man must have lived through. So.
Prithvi sir, this is Sujay here. Sir, this is a story of a Malayali, basically. So what is so universal about this story so that it will cater to like all the audience over the globe?
Brother, even if Najib was a Kannadiga, Tamilian, Telugu, Kashmiri, any other land, the story would still be the same. The fact that he was a Malayali is not making a difference to the story at all. The greatest thing about stories regarding the resilience of the human spirit is that it is beyond language, beyond region, beyond nativity, beyond religion, beyond everything. And that quality is there in the film also. When you see the film, you will realize that only about 20 to 30% of the film has any language. After that, for the longest part of the film, it's just this one man, his solitude, the desert, the animals. And then for another big part of the film, it's just these two people. And in the film, these two characters do not understand each other. Najib does not understand what Ibrahim Khadri, Jimmy's character, is telling him, and vice versa. But even then, there is no communication lost between them. And that's the same quality that the film hopes to achieve. I truly believe that, yes, we went through the effort of making sure there are 5 linguistic versions available for people to watch, but I truly believe this film is beyond language, because the story is such.
Sir, is anybody from the Kannada film fraternity has watched the film, sir? If yes, what was their reaction?
No, they haven't. I'll show the film to Prashant and Vijay very soon. Yeah.
Hi,
Last
Prithvi sir.
question, please. Last
Hi.
question.
So yeah, I mean, last evening, Mani sir, the first 2 people to see the film were Maniratnam sir and Kamal Hassan sir. They watched it last evening. Yeah.
Prithvi sir,
They said it is very good, but when you invite people to see a film, they usually don't say anything bad. So,
Prithvi sir,
And
apart from
ಸಮಯದ ಅಭಾವ ಇರೋ ಕಾರಣ ಒಂದೇ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೊನೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಎಸ್ ಸರ್
that is I'm shooting. Come sometime.
Prithviraj sir, this is just not a film for you. It's a phase of your life. You have seen a lot through this film.
Yes.
Tell us something about actually. In 2008.
Yeah. I mean, I keep repeating this because I don't know how many actors, how many artists in general would have had the experience of living with one film through so many different phases of his or her life. Because when I said yes to the film, I wasn't married, I wasn't a father, I had not turned producer, I had not turned director. So many things have happened in my life, and all through those phases, the one constant was, I'm doing Adajeevitham. I'm doing Adajeevitham. So between 2008 and 2024, I am assuming I've evolved as a man, hopefully for the better. I've evolved as an artist, as an actor, and come the 28th of March, you're right, you know, it's like a big phase of my life is culminating, and I don't know what to make of it, because I don't think many artists would have had that experience. It would only probably be, you hear stories of Mughal-e-Azam and all, you know, the films like that. So I'm assuming this must be what that person must have felt. So yeah. So usually actors, especially the ones who work as much as I do, who've done as many films as I have, you develop a faculty to be able to disassociate and walk away from films and characters. But good question, because I don't think that is going to be so easily possible for this film and this character. Because for 16 years, I have constantly lived with the thought, at least in the back of my mind, that I'm doing this character. I'm playing Najib. And for 16 years, at least one layer of my subconscious must have been ideating for this character. So I don't think this is a film that I'll just be able to walk away like that very easily. But I don't want to also. I think some part of it I want to carry inside. Sorry, promotion?
whatever the visuals we saw of Mr. Rahman, will that be only for the promotion or is it also included in the movie?
It'll be very weird if Rahman sir suddenly lands up in Najib's life. Yeah.
It will be very
No,
Ajib.
yeah, it's only for the promotion. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
The same singer in all the languages. The track that you saw, the video featuring Rahman sir, is sung by the same singer Jitin in all the languages, because we thought, we understand that it might not be perfect in terms of slang, but his voice had so much of import in it when he sang the original that Rahman sir was keen that he will be the one singing all the languages. And regarding the dubbing, I'm not sure, because there are a lot of characters in the film, and I'm not sure who all have dubbed. Yeah.
How many transformation you went through?
So the way we approached the film and the transformation for the character is, we decided that I will put on a lot of weight first, so that eventually when I lose weight, the difference will be very stark. So I put on a lot of weight for the beginning portions of the film. It was fun. I ate a lot and became like quite heavy, as you can see in the Kerala portions. And then we went to Jordan and we shot the portions where he's initially reaching the desert with the same. I was quite heavy at that time. Then we stopped shoot for about 7 to 8 months, and I started my process of transformation. I lost 31 kilos actually. That version of me you will see in the film only, because we didn't want to like give out stills or anything before. So there's a scene in the film where the character finally shows his body, and you will see how I looked. Unfortunately, what happened was, it was while filming those portions that the lockdown happened. And so then the shoot was stopped for almost 1.5 to 2 years. Finally, when we were regrouping, I had to do the entire transformation process once more. So I lost weight again. We went back to Algeria and we shot whatever was needed to shoot, that we needed to shoot. But in terms of stages, you will see 3 different stages of the character in terms of his physical transformation also, which is his portions in Kerala and the initial portions in the desert where he comes there and he realizes that he is stuck. Then you see this character a few months later, where he's beginning to change. He's lost a bit of weight, his hair and beard have started growing out. Then you meet him 3 years later, where he's completely transformed, and you know, his body, his physicality, his mannerisms, body language, everything has changed. So there are these 3 stages to the character.
How did you manage to?
Sir.
Sound, please.
How do you manage to keep your, physically fit for this film? You would be doing other films also. How did you manage?
So once I started the process of the transformation, I did not do other films. I don't know if you know of a film called Ayyappanum Koshim, which is fairly popular outside of Kerala also. So I finished the shooting of Ayyappanum Koshim and I stopped everything. And then for a few months, I only concentrated on the transformation for Aadijivitham. But then when the lockdown happened and we had to stop shoot, unfortunately it was quite a scary time for us, because we did not know how long, and none of us knew how long the pandemic would last or when we can resume shooting. So we came back and I started doing other films. But if you notice, all the films that I've done during that period, like Janaganamana and all that, I'm very thin in those films, because I did not want to let go and gain all the weight back, because I knew at some point I would have to come back to the Aadijivitham shape. So it wasn't easy. I'm not claiming it was easy. It was quite a tough period in my life. But in the back of my mind, I knew that I'm doing it for a very special film and an even more special character. So yeah, no regrets. I am very proud of what we have been able to achieve. And I'm very proud of the fact that I gave this film my all. You know, it's a really big effort from all of us, including myself.
All the best.
So, Kirti here from Vistara News. Here, sir. Hi, sir. Cutting down of 31 kgs and the transformation, how did your family and friends react to it? And what was the diet chart, how was it?
For the first part of your question, my family and friends did not like it at all, obviously, because I wasn't looking good. It wasn't like a nice weight loss. You know? I wasn't looking good. And my mother at one point called Blessy sir and told him, please tell him to stop. Blessy sir never asked me to stop also. Okay. So yeah, the idea behind the transformation, we never kept a goal that, okay, these many kilos or anything. The idea was I lose as much as I can. And to be honest, I surprised myself. I didn't expect that I would be able to achieve what I eventually was able to achieve. Regarding the diet, see, usually when I've also gone through transformations physically for many films, and usually it's like either you lose a bit of weight or you go to the gym and you put on muscle and you six pack and all that. That I've also done. But here, what you're trying to achieve is the physicality of a man who was starving, who did not have access to enough food. And unfortunately, the only way to achieve that is to starve. And my transformation was largely based on literally that, starving, which meant I was fasting. And there were times when I was doing 72-hour fast, like fasting for 3 days and sometimes 2 days. So it was largely based on fasting, and I just, for a long while, stopped lifting weights and all that. It wasn't a good feeling. I was feeling my weakest. I was not feeling good inside of me. But when I see the film, everything seems worth it. So there was actually no diet involved. It was just not having anything, not eating anything. Yeah.
In the Kannada industry, which is the celebrity that you're close for and your heart goes for them? Any words for that?
Who am I close to? Prashant Neel is a celebrity, no? Then it's him.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you said that you have dubbed in Kannada. How difficult was it to capture original aesthetic language?
That you should tell me when you hear my Kannada, because I think I'm blessed with an affinity for languages. I'd be modest enough to claim that much. I think when I listen to someone speaking a language, I'm able to reciprocate and reproduce, if I have the lines with me. But this is not the first time I've dubbed in Kannada. I dubbed for Salar also in Kannada. My take as an actor is that your voice and the way your voice lends itself to the lines you speak form a large part of your performance. And I feel a little uncomfortable letting go of that control and letting someone else perform that part of it for me. I feel a bit uncomfortable for that. And I also noticed one thing that whenever actors attempt dubbing in multiple languages, they usually dub in their home language, which in my case is Malayalam. And most times it's usually Tamil and Hindi, or maybe Tamil, Hindi and maybe Telugu. I think very few people have attempted to dub in Kannada outside of Kannada. I think maybe the language is tough. Maybe, I don't know. So for Salah, the first thing I told Prashant when he narrated the film to me is that I want to dub in all 5 languages. And the first question he asked me is, Kannada also? I said, yes, Kannada also. And I was very keen that I want to dub in Kannada. And I'm fully aware of the fact that my Kannada is not perfect. But I'm also aware that you are an intelligent audience. You will know that it's a Malayali actor attempting to dub in Kannada, and you will forgive me for the mistakes I make. So that's.
I think I don't try to speak anything about my film because I think my film will speak to you. Because it's a true story. Mr. Najib is now living in Kerala, in a coastal area. He is working as a fisherman in Kerala. We try to do our maximum potential in this film. Only in 28 you can judge and criticize and you can support the films. That's all. Thank you. And once again, thank you, Amala team, for this great opportunity. Also, thank you.
The man who